Hello everyone, welcome to the When It Worked podcast. You're with your host, Julian Leahy. Today I'm joined by Dr. Robin Buckley and Jenna Hatch. Welcome to the show, guests.
Thanks, Julian.
Hi.
Kelly had to reschedule. We'll get Kelly another time. And we're going to play Jeopardy with our two wonderful guests. Let's load up the board. The categories today are eponyms. I can't remember what that means. Daylight come, uncommon bonds, uncommon bonds. Orange, you hungry, which is orange things that you can eat. Double letters, words that have two double letters in them. And around the farm. Farm questions, which both of my guests are experts in. Dr. Robin on the left, you can kick things off. What would you like?
Around the farm for 200.
Around the farm for 200. The air tractor is one of these low flyers that spread pesticide. What?
What? Oh no, I knew this was going to be fun.
Let's take a look at the answer. You can get it wrong, it doesn't matter. It is a crop duster, the plane that goes around and sprays chemicals everywhere. All right, Robin, you're still in control. What would you like?
Oh, God.
Please,
take orange for 200.
Orange, you hungry for 200. A Kraft favorite debuted in 1937 containing this food in orange powder form.
Mac and cheese.
Let's take a look. It was just cheese.
Oh, this food. Okay, that makes sense. The cheese part.
I almost gave it to you, but I'm going to be stingy today. Dr. Robin, you're still in control.
Oh, good. How about orange for 100?
Orange, you hungry for 100. If you separate out these rhyming candies, you'll get about half orange ones, quarter brown, and quarter yellow.
Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces. Let's take a look. Is correct. Well done, Dr. Robin. Reese's Pieces. Favorite of the kids, my kids. All right. What would you like next, Dr. Robin?
Oh, I'm just going to keep going with the category, Julian. Orange for 300.
Orange for 300. Orange chicken is the most popular item at this restaurant founded by Andrew Chang.
P.F. Chang's.
Oh, P.F. Chang's. It's Panda Express.
Oh my goodness. Dr. Robin, what did I tell you?
That was a good guess,
P.F.
Jenna.
Chang's have something else. What's the famous one from P.F. Chang's? Something
The
chicken.
lettuce wrap?
Not sure.
Chicken lettuce wraps?
Oh, okay. All right. Dr. Robin, still in control. What would you like?
I'm curious about the first category, which
Eponyms.
for 100.
For 100. This ism, named for a legendary soldier devoted to Napoleon, can mean the belief that one's gender is superior. Come on, ladies.
Seriously, what is
Have you
wrong with my
ever
brain?
worked at a place that was full of men? You would have experienced this.
All the time.
Misogyny?
Sexism
Oh, well, yeah, that.
or chauvinism is accepted. Dr. Robin, what would you like next?
Daylight come for 100.
Daylight come for 100. A dawn event or a Florida city of around 90,000. Or dawn event. What happens at dawn?
Sunrise.
Sunrise. It's correct.
Oh my God, I got one.
Jenna.
Thank God.
Jenna's on the board.
All right, Jenna. Oh, you.
I'm on the board.
And
yes.
you're in control. What would you like, Jenna?
I'm going to go with double letters for 200.
Double letters for 200. The catadid is also the longhorned this. The catadid is also called the longhorned this.
Beetle?
That's what I think. I'm not sure though. Let's take a look.
I think you're right.
Grasshopper. So we got
No.
2 S's and 2 P's. Beetle only has 2 E's. That's what stumped me. But you're still in control, Jenna.
I'm going to go back to double letters, but we're going to go for 300.
Double for 300. Vivaldi composed some 39 concertos for this woodwind instrument.
Cello?
I was going to say oboe.
Cello has got 2 L's. Oboe has got an O, no doubles. It's a bassoon.
Oh my goodness.
Which it kind of looks like a saxophone, but it's wooden, I think. Still in control,
Yeah.
Jenna Hatch.
Let's go with uncommon bonds for 200.
Uncommon bonds for 200. Later jailed for fraud, Australian Alan Bond became a national hero for financing the 1983 capture of this sailing trophy.
Julian, where do you get your questions?
This is from actual Jeopardy.
Of course.
I was much more like on board when it was questions about like how I met your mother.
Yes. Well, this category, uncommon bonds, it's giving you a clue as what the surname is. Bond. But it's an uncommon one. It's an Australian guy who was a huge kind of a Donald Trump type figure, and then there's this very famous sailing race. That's all you need to know. Is the sailing race, and I think it happens in the eastern seaboard. And it's a race, and the yachts race each other, and it's all these rich guys. Dennis Conner, do you remember him? Oh, you guys probably weren't born in 1983. It is the America's Cup. Have you heard of that race?
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't follow it, but yeah.
Well, Alan Bond became a hero, and then we realised he was a crook. We're all convicts down here in one way or another. All right, Jenna, you're still in control.
Around the farm for 300, please.
Around the farm for 300. This farm machine that travels along cutting standing grain shares a name with a grim angel of death.
Reaper.
Oh, nice job.
Well done, Jenna Hatch.
Nice.
Any relation to the guy that won Survivor? Richard
Me
Hatch?
personally?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, I wish. That would have been super cool. But I think I'm just related to, people who are actually on farms in New Hampshire.
Actual farmers.
Ding, 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 ding. So that's what that is. Let's go with around the farm for 400.
Around the farm for 400, a mainland wetland used for farming, especially where rice is grown. Also a nickname for someone from Ireland.
Patty.
Patty is correct.
Nice.
Well done, Dr. Robin. Very sure of that one.
The Irish background.
Gotcha.
All right, let's just round off 500 around the farm.
Around the farm for 500. These 4 letters precede tiller to indicate it has spinning blades attached for cultivating soil. 4 letters. I think the answer is in the question. I think
soil.
I was going to say.
I was going to say land.
Oh. I gave you a famous bum steer. It's a rototiller. I thought it was a soil tiller.
Aw,
Let us
Julian.
Sorry. My clues are very dodgy. Who's in control? Dr. Robin.
Me. How about eponyms for 200?
Eponyms for 200. To execute without due process, especially by hanging, it was named for a Virginian who was allowed to do it. Well, eponyms. What is eponyms again? Is it a word that I can't even remember what we worked it out. Well, lynching seems like this is what this is, but I don't know if it's an eponym. Let's take a look. No. Yeah, it's to lynch is correct. Well done, Julian. Round of applause for Julian. All right, Dr. Robin, still in control.
How about orange for 400?
Orange, You Hungry for 400. The country tune Song of the South mentions pie made from this tuber.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato pie is correct. Well done, Dr. Robin.
And orange for 500.
Orange, You Hungry for 500. In Yiddish, Sores, trouble, should not be confused with simmies, a stew containing mern, these veggies. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, we're in orange, some sort of Jewish
Carrots.
stew. What was that?
Carrots?
Let's take a look. It is carrots is correct. Well done, Dr. Robin.
Came out of nowhere. How about around the farm for 100?
Round the farm for 100, a moving platform or a tall warehouse for grain. You know this one. Everybody, come on.
Silo.
That's the one. Silo. Very dangerous. You can fall into silos, apparently. And you sink in the grain. Jenna, you're in control.
Let's try daylight come for 200.
Daylight come for 200. Lights glittering morn bedecks the sky, says a hymn for lords, also called morning this. Morning. I think there's also a flower.
Glory?
Yeah, that's what I think. Let's take a look. I think I just gave you another dud. Morning
No.
prayers. Yeah, sorry.
Prayers.
Okay. Dr. Robin's in control still. What would you like?
Daylight come for 300.
Daylight come for 300. When daylight comes in China, you will see Beijing parks filled with people practicing this gentle martial art.
Oh my god, I just lost it.
I know. I could see it in your head.
It's not Taekwondo.
No, but
It's
It's Tai Chi.
that's the
There you go.
one.
nice job, Jenna.
Well done, Jenna.
Oh,
What
I
would
got
you
some
like?
help.
What would you like?
Go double letters for 100.
Double letters for 100. Not much to spit out. Tiffany and Crimson Trio are this type of watermelon. Not much to spit out.
Seedless.
There you go. Is correct. Well done, Robin. I was thinking seeds, and then I thought S. There's two S's and two E's. It could be seeds. And then Robin said seedless, and I went, that's even better. Well done, Robin.
All right, let's do uncommon bonds for 100.
Uncommon bonds for 100. J. Max Bond Jr., who helped design the National September 11 Memorial, was a 1980 to 1986 member of this city's Planning Commission. It's got to be
New York?
It's got to be or Jersey. Let's take a look. It's New York. Well done, Dr. Robin.
Double for 400.
Double for 400. Appraise a piece of property for taxation purposes or evaluate the situation.
Assess.
Is correct. Well done. Dr. Robin's on fire. 2,000. Jenna's on 800.
Yes.
Still within reach.
How about double for 5?
Double for 500. In 1903, Sherlock Holmes retired to Sussex to take up this busy hobby, which has a sweet result. Which goes good on your oatmeal. As long as you don't get stung.
Beekeeping?
Let's take a look. It is correct. Well done, Robin. Quite a few clues there.
That's a lot of clues.
Yeah.
How about daylight come for 400?
Daylight come for 400. When in Rome, Eos, goddess of dawn, went by this name. Something to do with daylight come. Eos, goddess of dawn. When in Rome.
The only thing I can think of is like Helios, but I think that's
Greek, I think. Well, hey, look, I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to just pull that clue back.
Clearly, neither do I.
Yeah. It was Aurora. Interesting. So that's where they get the Aurora Borealis from the god Eos. Robin, you're still in control. What would you like?
Daylight for 500.
Daylight for 500. This author says the cells in the skin of some of her characters are reflective like crystal and sparkle in daylight.
Stephanie Meyer.
Interesting. And what's the book that she wrote?
Twilight.
Ah, gotcha. The old Twilight. I remember.
Good job, Jenna.
Is correct.
Yeah, well, that was when it got really popular. That was like my my early 20s, I think. So
yes, there was a lot of lusting after a Native American hunk with no shirt on. I remember.
Yeah.
Taylor Lautner or something. Wow, I even knew his name. You're in control, Jenna.
Eponyms for 300.
Eponyms for 300. A Greek god who was half man and half goat and known for causing terror gives us this word for sudden terror. Half man, half goat.
I feel like I should know this one.
Terror, fright, shock. What is it? Time's up. Let's take.
I feel like in the movie Hercules, I feel like he was one of the little guys alongside with me. He's the one that looked, but here we are again. Words escape me.
Panic.
Yeah. Yep. Totally was.
Did not know that was named after a little goat man. Robin, I think, who's in control?
No, it's Jenna.
Jenna's in control. What would you like, Jenna?
Eponyms for 400.
Eponyms for 400. The 9th century apostle of the Slavs was given his name to this alphabet used by the Slavs. Sorry for the very strong Australian accent. Probably you say Slavs.
I don't think it matters how you pronounce it at this point. Rather, just I have nothing going on in my brain.
9th century apostle of the Slavs. It was Krylik. Pretty tough.
Not a chance.
Do we know what an eponym is yet?
Nope.
Okay. What would you like, Jenna?
Let's close out. Let's close it out. Eponyms, please.
Let's get rid of eponyms. This setter dog breed was developed in Scotland and named for the nobleman who popularized it in the early 19th century. Something setter. Robin, you're a proclaimed expert in this region.
Irish setter. I'm gonna try to steal it.
Oh man, I gave you another bum
Dang it! You see what happens?
Gordon setter. There is an Irish setter though. I was barking up the right tree. All right, Jenna, let's finish off. Uncommon bonds, 300.
Yep.
Born to the role, Samantha Bond has played this secretary in 4 007 films.
M. No. Name?
Secretary was Miss
Pennywise.
Oh, close. Miss
Penny.
Miss. Morning, Miss. Money Penny.
Money Penny. That's
Money
it.
Penny. Well done, Julian. Round of applause for Julian. All right, 2 questions left. Let's take a look. What do we got? Oh, I just closed the whole thing. All right, let's wrap it up there. Let's have a round of applause for our guests. And Jenna ended up on around about 1,000. Dr. Robin was on a couple of thousand. I can't even see the scores. Well done. Thanks very much, guests. That was a good game. Some good questions there. Just turn off.
Hard questions.
Yeah, some hard ones. There's always some hard ones. Jeopardy's always hard. Dr. Robin, tell us a little bit about what you're up to. You're a coach and a clinical psych. What types of people do you work with? And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I have a lot of fun working with C-suite individuals, either on their own as leaders, or more fun is when I work with them as couples. So I'm putting out a book next year called Marriage Incorporated, and it's all about how to apply business principles to your romantic relationship. And it is just a fun framework to use with my clients because they want something that's objective and focused on the present and the future. And they can apply what they know from their careers to their relationships. So super fun work.
What are C-suite couples?
C-suite couples are individuals who tend to have leadership positions. So they either own their own businesses as entrepreneurs, or they're functioning, running a corporation, like in the either CEO, CFO, COO position. So really at that top tier of the hierarchy.
And what are some of the business principles that you can apply to being married? You don't want to do any sort of raids and takeovers, I suppose, but
not so much.
What are some of the concepts that you talk about?
Yeah, one of the easiest, Julian, is I always start by asking the couples I work with, what is your mission statement for your relationship? And usually I get crickets because nobody really creates that. They do it in business. They can say what their company's mission statement is, which is, for your audience, a mission statement is simply what helps the company stay unified and going in the same direction. So for a couple, it would make sense to have the same one. So we start there, and then we break it down into other business principles like identifying pain points in the relationship. So we don't talk about problems or issues. We talk about pain points because it creates a more objective and strategic thinking when we're not talking about emotionally charged things like problems and issues. And then we look at KPIs. How do we really measure success in the relationship and progress in the relationship instead of, I think it's going okay, which we would never do in our careers. So I try and help them really, in a concrete and quantifiable way, establish parameters to evaluate progress.
This is quite interesting, Dr. Robin, because as a man, I guess I don't really look forward to talking about the relationship, but if you come at me with KPIs and visions and, I would start, I could almost think that's a good thing to talk about. So do you find that it works on men? It's a bit of a trick to get men to talk about their relationship?
Yep, exactly, Julian. I very often, a lot of my clients, my individual clients are women. And when we get into their relationships, they'll say, my male partner doesn't like therapy. We tried it. It was too emotional. It was too overwhelming. So he refuses to go to therapy. I said, will he go to couples coaching? And she, a lot of my clients say, oh yeah, he works with a business coach. Is that kind of the same? I'm like, it is the same. So it is a positive manipulation of how to get a partner who is hesitant, whether it's a man or a woman, hesitant to come into therapy to address the relationship, but in a way that isn't going to create emotional upheaval every time you walk into a session.
Yeah, that sounds great. And also just from the way you've positioned yourself very uniquely, and you've got a clear idea of how to go about things, which you don't often see. And how does it work if somebody drags their partner along? So do you have a session together, or do you meet usually to start off with the female of the two, or?
Nope, we start together. I try very hard to keep the sessions with both people because I don't want to create any kind of power imbalance by working one-on-one. Every so often I do meet one-on-one with the individuals, but that's usually a couple sessions in after we've established the trust and the confidentiality. And all my sessions are done virtually. So and I work with people around the world, which is a lot of fun. And for a lot of my clients, they're busy and they're traveling. So it doesn't matter if one is in England, at a business meeting, and the other one is in California at a business meeting. We can make that work virtually. So it aligns with their schedules.
Yeah. And these people are all generally business people. What type? No?
Yeah, that's a great question. I get the question a lot of, well, do I have to understand and do business to understand this framework? And no, because this isn't Harvard level, MBA stuff. These are basic ideas that most people can wrap their brains around. So I would say that in the couples I work with, I would say about 60%, there's at least one person within some kind of business milieu. But it really isn't something that has to be part of your background to be able to apply this framework.
Excellent. And if people want to have a chat to you about
Mm-hmm.
your interesting approach, so igsouth.com
Mm-hmm.
is your website. And then what happens? Do you arrange? Is it all done on Zoom or something?
It is. So they fill out an intake form right on the website, and then we set up a video-based session to clarify their goals, which you do with any coaching session. And then we arrange their sessions depending on how often they want to meet with me. So it's not like therapy where you have to meet with me once a week. Most of my couples meet with me every other week at the beginning, and then we spread them out as they start to develop their own skills and strategies so that ideally I become obsolete.
Excellent. Well, I really like that. It's an approach to therapy that could almost get me along. And that sounds fantastic. So if you want to have a chat to Dr. Robin, her details are in the show notes. And couples therapy, everything in your life needs a coach at some point. Relationship is that one that if you let it, leave it alone and don't address things, where it ends up. And it's just one of the things: health, business, marriage, relationship, whatever. It's all stuff you've got to keep an eye on. You've got to get your car serviced, same sort of thing. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Robin. I liked hearing from you. Very good. Let's have a round of applause for Dr. Robin. Wonderful. All right, now, Dr. Jenna.
Oh, not doctor.
That's all right. I just thought I'd give you an honorary doctorate for the moment.
Appreciate it.
Tell us about what you're up to. What is it Project Outreach?
Project Outsource.
Outsource.
And I actually find it very fortuitous that I was on here with Dr. Robin today because, Project Outsource is a offshoring virtual assistant company where we offshore roles to the Philippines. But what makes my business different is, to my knowledge, we're the only relationship-based virtual assistant company. So I actually loved hearing what Dr. Robin had to say just now, because the first thing that came to my mind when you asked the question, what's something or the top thing that you do in couples coaching, first thing that popped in my mind was communication. That's something that I, preach and have my clients practice all the time with their virtual assistants to kind of drive the point home. Like I said, it's relationship based. So my vision here, or what I've seen across the board, is when someone's looking to hire a virtual assistant, it's usually just to offload all of those tasks, those monotonous, responsibilities that we don't want to do. But what I've come to find is if you invest a little bit in the relationship with your virtual assistant, so much more gets accomplished. People are going above and beyond, doing things you didn't ask them to do, but they just figured, hey, this is a great idea. You're no longer in this on this journey by yourself, right? You're no longer this party of one. You're now able to bounce ideas off each other, to workshop, to essentially you have that multiplicative effect that everybody wants when starting their business, by literally tapping into somebody else's skill set. So I find it to be very interesting that we got paired up here today, as we have very similar viewpoints on business and investing in people and investing in each other to be able to make your business work and grow and flourish.
And what types of tasks are best suited to virtual assistants?
So right now, they say that the niches are in the riches. And so I will tell you that we're trying to niche down more and more, and we're coming to find that medical services or medical billing, coding, handling those insurance claims. We just did a case study with one of our clients, and we were able to get, their billing, I guess the time frame of, when the event happens, sending it to insurance, getting it approved, to under 24 hours, that whole process being done basically, real quick, where beforehand they were about 3 to 5 days behind. So we really did a really great thing for them. But what I do want to point out is on the website under services, the second thing that we have done is called the VAA program. And it's a little bit of comedic relief. It's Virtual Assistants Anonymous. It is basically the support group for people who have had terrible experiences with a virtual assistant. And it's our way of turning your negative experience into a positive one. And very similarly to Dr. Robin, we start with your business model, your why, because I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know what's important to you, how you operate business. We move through pain points and short-term, long-term goals, your tech stack, is that serving you well? We kind of do a really deep dive, and then we create this custom 90-day goal plan, right? And we create this plan, and we also show how by integrating that virtual assistant, you're going to be able to hit some of those goals within a 3-month period. Yeah. So that's another thing that we're real proud of.
Yes, and that brings me to the next question. VAs are amazing, and I've used many of them before. People out there might be thinking, well, why do I need a middle person to get involved in this? Shouldn't I just deal directly with the people? And the issue is that there needs to be some sort of mediator in the middle, because the people that you are using, they're very, very great, very loyal, very efficient, but there's a certain kind of way to communicate with them, whereas they need to really be clear in what's required. And you can't assume anything. If you don't tell them to do a certain thing a certain way, they won't do it. But just through not knowing. It's kind of like, I was going to say like training a dog, but then I thought people are going to think I'm comparing VAs to dogs. But as long as the dog understands exactly what you want, he'll try and do it. No, I'm going to stop that whole comparison. All right.
Well, I will say that's the one thing I want to drive home on that point is that's what a lot of people think. And, I want to make it clear that doesn't matter. When was the last time you guys had a job, right? A brand new job. We can even go back to our teenage years. Brand new job. We don't know what we're doing, right? And we need those standard operating procedures. We need guidance, direction, clear communication, and feedback. And, I do get that feedback a lot, but I honestly believe it's part of our onboarding process. If we establish those clear communication lines in the beginning, there really aren't as many hiccups as you think. Yeah. So it's about perfecting that process.
That's where I was headed, was somebody like Jenna can understand the whole picture of your business and what you're trying to achieve, and relate that to the people. So you need some sort of third person manager to manage the VAs, and then they're perfectly happy. And if you show them a bit of love and pay them a little bit, tiny bit more than what everyone else does, they will absolutely move mountains for you. Would you agree, Jenna?
Just like anybody. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, right?
Yeah. Well, that's great. And so mostly medical stuff, lots of the detail tasks that need human input that can't be done with AI. There's lots of tasks like that out where you need people actually doing it. And this is an idea that outsourcing is fantastic. Obviously, as Jenna said, she's got that group of where people have had bad experiences, but eventually you work it out and you get it right. And probably if you have a chat to Jenna, you're more likely to have a good experience with it. And what was the other thing I was going to say? How does it work from a company perspective? Say I'm a company in Australia, or say somebody's in America and they've got a certain task. What's the process to get some people?
It always depends, right? And so like I said, we do that deep dive. And so sometimes there are project-based roles, meaning I need my website built with this type of content, right? Where we kind of build out what the project looks like, and it's like a one-shot deal. Versus you might want to hire your right-hand man, right-hand woman. And so that's going to be more of like on the hourly rate, right? Where you're building together. So it does depend. But with that, some of those tasks that you're talking about, those mundane tasks, it's like your calendar management and your email management. And to your point about AI, I also teach a class about synergies between AI and VAs, because AI technology is fantastic. But I had a conversation with somebody one time that said AI saves us so much time by doing the thing that we want in the blink of an eye. And you know what's really cool? We're taking all that time that we saved and we're repurposing it into learning how to prompt the thing. So I encourage you to think about that too, right? You spinning your wheels for hours, how much are you worth per hour? Even still, if you can't figure out that AI tool, you're probably better off hiring a VA to figure out that AI tool. How much are you worth per hour? Right. So I also teach a class about the synergies between using, when to use AI, when you need a VA, and when to do the hybrid.
Yeah, I think the hybrid's the way to go. And yeah. So excellent stuff. And what about do you have many people that need like telephone operators and stuff? Do you deal with
Oh
that?
yeah, absolutely. As long as you have like a VoIP, a business phone, soft phone, whatever you want to call it. I like to tell people that, here in the US, we, about 10 years ago, we essentially got burned by the accent thing, right? I put that in quotes, but I feel like we all have a sense of frustration when we can't understand somebody on the other, end of the line. And so I usually tell people when it comes to behind the scenes roles, I don't put too much stock into accent because they're not going to be interacting with your clients. But to your point, if we're doing appointment setting, if they're the first point of contact for clients, so they're answering phones, maybe routing to the right person, I put a lot of stock in the neutrality of the accent. This way, this person is more of like an extension of you and your business. And, people aren't going to have that gut reaction.
Yeah, there's ways to do it. Like you said, like there are people out there that they don't have a strong accent, and you could be perfectly fine to have them answering phones. Well, that's exciting. Outsourcing is a great thing, and it can really help you solve a lot of problems in your business. But you just need to know a few things. So you need to speak to somebody like Jenna. Thanks for coming on, Jenna Hatch.
Thanks for having me, Julian.
Wonderful. I'm a big believer in that. I've got lots of VAs doing all sorts of things, and it's once you get it right, it's a huge time saver.
Life changing.
Wonderful. All right, well, I'm going to wrap things up. Thanks to our wonderful guests and Dr. Robin and Jenna. I'm going to wrap things up. See you next time. Bye.
Thanks, Julian. Bye, Jenna.